All right, kids, who wants the podcast today? I think I do. You are experiencing the Tom Kelly Show. This is an on the road, I feel like venting edition. I'll call this a manifesto edition of the Tom Kelly Show. Yeah, I'm in a fucking bad mood, people, and maybe this podcast will air, maybe it won't. I'll tell you, in a good way, it should air because I'm driving from New York City to my friend Katie McLaughlin's mom's house to go to a barbecue. And how nice is it to have friends? That should make you happy. How lucky am I to have a car to go drive on 4th of July weekend to go see a friend who is in town? I mean, we could add up the blessings. I mean, the weird thing with the city is I parked on the street, got a great spot in front of my apartment, and I knew it. I knew the inspection on my car was expired. I have a garage spot a mile away from my apartment, so it's a pain in the ass. I got into the apartment at noon, and I'm like, who gives tickets? Who gives tickets at 5, who gives tickets at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning? New York City does, yay! So I have a ticket. I'll tell you how much it costs if you're watching the video version. I'm posting the video version of it now. I'm sure it's somewhere between $50, $75 for having an expired inspection. But the thing is, I knew I had the expired, not an inspired inspection, but an expired inspection. And I knew I had it. I just thought I would get to it tomorrow. And I really thought, what city gives out tickets to people parked on 4th of July weekend if they're parked legally, blah, blah, blah? Well, guess what? New York City does. And again, like you're talking about Tom, are you afraid of the guy, Zohan Mandani, who's running for mayor of New York City? And the answer is, yeah. I don't want to be afraid of him. I don't want to sound like Johnny Fox News, but here's the deal. New York's already expensive enough. There's always a fee and a ticket, and we only give the fees and the tickets to the people who pay them. And I'm an honest guy. I will pay my ticket. Guess what? I was wrong. I will pay my ticket. I am privileged enough to have a garage spot. I will pay my ticket. But the thing is, you know what, man? I will get out of paying something else. When you get into this thing of like Zamdani wants to only tax Zoldani, whatever he is, he's charming, he's young, he's inspiring. Let's give him some credit. But the bottom line is, what this guy doesn't get is he's not going to be president of the United States. He's going to be mayor of New York. And when you tax someone to the point where they get tired of it and they start cracking, they move out. And what does move out mean? You only have to do 186 days somewhere else, and then you don't have to pay New York City income tax. I got a huge tax. I have a lot of money in the bank, and I'm blessed to have money in the bank. I don't invest wildly. It's interest, which is a bad way to invest. And to speed through the story, and remember, there's inflation. Inflation was at 5 to 7%. My money is now worth less than what it was a year ago if I keep it in the bank at 4% interest. But the kicker in the balls is, then you have to pay taxes on that 4% interest you made to try to keep up with inflation risk-free. It's just, you know what, man? This is why people move to Florida. Now, my loving family's here. I got a bunch of nieces and nephews. My brother's here. My mom and dad are here. Stand-up comedy is not rewarding me the way it once was. It wouldn't take much for Tom, a working-class guy who's still, rolling in it. The podcast money, blah, blah, blah. But there you go. But that's not what, so anyway, I go to church. I worship Jesus. And then I come back, and there's the ticket. And then the next one is, there's a girl. There was a girl, realistic, not a supermodel, not 6'6" and a Olympic athlete, not a Instagram influencer. There was a girl who reached out to me, thought I was funny on the internet, and she said, hey, I'm going to be on Long Island on July 7th. Are you going to be out there? And I arranged my schedule so I could be out there. And so I sent a message, and then, and I sent her a note saying, you know what, if you're going to be out there, I'm going to be out there. And that was now 10 days ago. And I'm playing it cool. She just hit love on me saying I'll be out there for her. And we did not, I did not make plans, but whatever it is, I arranged my schedule so it would be on Long Island for her. And God bless, I sent her a note saying, hey, what do you want to do tomorrow? And she's like, oh, I got my dates mixed up. I'm not going to be out there. And here's my thing. And you know what? Some of my listeners get this. I get extreme anxiety planning ahead because I'm a comedian at a level where all my offers are last minute. I'm related to people who do shit at the last minute. And so planning ahead gives me anxiety. Even I got, I mean, a nice one. Just what you talk about, why I don't like planning ahead. I have a different friend coming into town that I know about right now. And God bless, I got one of the greatest honors of my life. Came in after I committed to making, spending time with this friend. I got an offer to be a godparent to one of my nieces who's decided to embrace Jesus and Catholicism later in life. And what an honor. But when you talk about where I like keeping my calendar free, it's because honors like that all come last minute to me. Crap like that all comes last minute. So like when you ask me out 2 weeks ahead of time and I put you in the calendar, that says I thought something of you. And for you to just not say, I didn't know what I got my dates mixed up and I never told you, screw you. Like an easy one. Like let's make it more work so that way I don't sound heartbroken and emotional. One of the comedy clubs, one of the less stable comedy events I work for, they booked me for an emceeing show on a Saturday night. So that's a 2-hour commitment. Somebody offered me a spot for the same night. Again, I have nothing on the calendar for this week, and then I got 3 offers for Saturday night. And so offer number 2 comes in. And I say, hey guys, hey comedy show guys, I noticed your big Saturday show that you booked me for isn't even on your website yet. Are you sure it's happening? Yes, it's happening, Tom. Yes, it's happening. And so I turned down offer number 2. Offer number 3 comes in. And you go, I'm sorry, can't do offer number 3. I want to be at offer number 1 at the right time. I want to be at offer number 1. And then what do you know? So I turned down offer 2 and 3. And then at 5 o'clock, after it's really too late for me to take up offer 1 and 2, the show canceled. Show got canceled. After they promised me it was on. And you just go, I don't like planning ahead. And honestly, like the funny part, when I used to do the TV show work, it was great because they dictated my schedule, and then I picked up the flakier stuff last minute. And I took a class landmark. And I know I'm rambling. This is Tom Kelly is avoiding telling someone to go F themselves in text messaging right now. And I'm hoping that talking to you guys while driving will get me out of a bad mood. And right now, I think I'm just boring the living hell out of you. If you're still listening, definitely comment with the word respect other people's time. That's a little bit long. But definitely, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment, FOMO. Or just comment on any of my Instagram videos with the word FOMO, and I'll know you made it to the 9-minute mark on the podcast. It's just one of those things where you just go, listen, man, I took a class landmark. It was one of those self-improvement classes. I'm not pushing this one upon you. But one of the things they got you mad at was you had to show up to the class on time. Now, I say this as I'm driving to a barbecue 2 hours late, but I'm doing that intentionally because I don't want to stay for the 2 hours. I just don't have a 2-hour social battery in me. That's different. I'm doing a flyby. I'm only going to know 2 people at this barbecue, and I'm hoping to go there by the end when everybody's sort of winded down. Get a plate, get the hell out. Get a cookie, get the hell out. Whatever it is. But yeah, you have to, if you make a commitment, and that's my thing. I don't like making commitments because I don't like canceling commitments. Like if you book me for a show, unless there's a big money comedy show coming, unless it's a TV thing, I don't cancel it. Yeah, I hate to say it, man. So to that girl, yeah, I just want to say something mean, and I'm podcasting instead of doing this. I tried telling off ChatGPT. ChatGPT just doesn't fake being offended when you tell, here's the thing, hurt people. And I'm that kind of guy. When you hurt me, I become the hurt person who wants to hurt people. And I know that's bad. I know I'm batshit crazy. Listen, I'm at this point where I don't let I'm happy being single. I think I am. And it's just funny. And I kind of said this in a video that's not getting any traction on TikTok right now, where I've come to this realization. I like going after, like I am. This will come up on a podcast with Daniela Anastasio that I have already recorded. I just have not released. And I am suffering from something called limerence. I am an emotionally unavailable person. I know why. I project, there's the family things, there's the this things, there's the that things, I've projected blank amount of love into loved ones that just don't, they're black holes for whatever reason. I have, the piano store is out of business on Route 110. Anyway, but this was like a piano district. There was a piano store there. There's still a piano store over there. Anyway, my thing is this. If I let my guard down, I have found that everybody I've let my guard down has not been worthy of me letting my guard down. Therefore, I will have a crush on a 21-year-old. Not really 21, but someone way too young for me. I will have a crush on an Instagram model, somebody far away. They call it limerence, so like where or limerence is a little different where you need one person to love you back. But whatever it is, I project myself on the emotionally unavailable, and then whenever I let my guard down for something that seems more realistic, something happens quick to make me say, this is why I'm single. This is why I don't do it anymore. You know what? Maybe there's something to be said about the future of my life is caring for the elderly, being a good uncle, and going on vacation when I want to go on vacation, showing up to barbecues when I want to show up to barbecues, playing Peter Pan and doing my damn podcast. But you know what? But I also want to say, you know what, man? There's a real person in here. Or there was. There's, and what I find is, and listen, part of why I don't like flirting with other people is I don't want to be the rejecter. I don't want to be the rejecter. I don't want to be the person who hurts other people's feelings. Why? Because I know what it's like having my feelings hurt. I don't know. Did that make me feel better? It felt good to talk. Will I air this podcast? Who knows? I've stopped going to therapy because I found myself becoming a broken cycle. I really have had 2 therapists and ChatGPT all tell me the same thing. You're not going to fix the people who you love in your life who are broken. Go do something new, but they won't tell me what the new thing is that I have to do. And work on a bigger project, but the bigger projects make me angry. Or and what else? And also ChatGPT and my 2 therapists, both were not showbiz people. There is a therapist out there, but I don't want to be the guy who goes to the same therapist everybody else goes to. There is a therapist out there who has a client base of only comedians. Maybe that's what I should do, is just be a comedian who become a therapist who treats comedians, and then create a show. There was a show on Comedy Central just like that called Dr. Katz. I don't know if you saw that. If you did, let me know. What else do I want to do? I feel like I want to do a hot take. Like I want to have opinions today. Like there's one thing that's pissed me. Like I had a great 4th of July weekend. I had quality time with actually almost, all the immediate nieces and nephews, the immediate kids who call me uncle were there. The kids I buy the birthday gifts for. I went swimming with my grandnephews and my brother's niece and nephew. I got kids in the pool. We had a good time. And I had a good time. So that was fun. And, and I live in a nice little town for the 4th of July. The fireworks are getting a little out of control. There are people just lighting up sticks of dynamite. I mean, I'm not a Vietnam veteran, but how are we not setting off people who've gone through traumatic things? I mean, listen, I have been around New York City explosions, car crashes, or aftermaths of horrible moments. I'm a 9/11 New Yorker. I don't want to compare myself to soldiers or anything like that. But if I'm getting triggered, how are the guys in the neighborhood who have been to war not getting triggered by people just lighting sticks of dynamite? Now, if the firework is loud and it produces a pretty show, I'm in favor of it. If it's just a boom, you're a dick. You know, you're just being a dick. That's my feeling on that. But here's my hot take, Long Island. Fix your flags, Long Island. Fix your flags, suburban America. There's a lot of people who have put up flags for the 4th of July. They're going to leave them up all summer, and they're going to end up looking like toilet paper. Now, I want to say first, I was raised, my dad is what I would call, I don't want to call him a flag Nazi, but a flag stickler. My dad is a flag stickler. Also, I was a Boy Scout for 3 weeks and a Cub Scout for a couple of years. I was raised to believe that flags should have a light on them. At night, flags should be folded in a proper way. And when they become tattered, you fold them in a triangle, you bring them to the local veterans group that will burn the flags in a ceremony. Now, there's a lot of people who are putting up what I call, there's a lot of people who are putting up what I call the FU flags. Those are the flags that they're saying, I'm an American. And listen, and then the flags end up looking like crap. Now, you ready for a crazy one? If you want to burn your flag, that is your American right. If you want to leave your flag up and let your flag look like crap, you know what? That's your American right. But is that what you want to do? How about that for the nicest thing I'm going to say? There's a lot of people who I think are good Americans putting up flags because they want to be pro-America, but then they let the flag look like crap. And I think that's anti-American. So do me a favor. If you can't handle putting up a flag, putting a light on it at night, if you can't handle, keeping it clean, folding it, keeping it from getting tangled like a dirty towel, don't put up a flag. You don't have to put up the flag. And I'm not going to be a judgy guy and say, you don't deserve to put a flag. But do you want to put up a flag that looks like toilet paper? No, you don't, because you're a good American. You're trying to project being a good American. But don't put up an FU flag and not take care of your FU flag. I think that's the right way to say it. If you're not going to take care of your flag, it's okay. You don't have to put up a flag. Maybe you just put it up for special occasions and you take care of it. I know I sound like an old man here, but deep down, I think you think I'm right. Don't be that guy. Yeah, how about that? Don't put up an FU flag and then not take care of it, because then kind of you're saying, I wanted to say FU, I'm pro this politician, and then you don't take care of it. It kind of makes you say, wow, you're not as smart as you think you are. Now, for the people who put up the flags, put the lights on, and do the patriotic things, thank you. I love, listen, I'm an old-fashioned guy. I love my old-fashioned red, white, and blue flag. I don't really love the black flag with the blue stripe, but I do love the black American flag with the blue stripe. But I do love Blue Lives Matter flags. I love Black Lives Matter flags. I love pride flags. I really love the American flag. And I stand by this. Take care of your damn flag, people. Whatever your flag is, don't make it look like toilet paper. And I think we're going to find out that this camera angle was too shaky for me to make it into a video clip. But I'm a good American for putting this on the podcast. All right. So listen, if you hung on, just tell me you got to the end. Like the cool thing about a podcast or a YouTube show or whatever, I think it's a chance for you to connect with the real Tom Kelly or a deeper version of me. And I appreciate the people who took 21 minutes to take a ride with me, not just for a 90-second clip. So if you have a chance to support the Tom Kelly Show empire, I say this literally and figuratively, show love where love can be shown. And yeah, for real people, recording this show made me a little less miserable. So thank you for giving me a chance to get something off my chest. And until next time, good night, Huntington Station, Long Island.